Hey guys, it's M4J here, and welcome to a brand new season of the M4J Journeyman here on Football Manager 2018. We are still at Mitra Kuka. My reputation is slowly growing. It's very nearly a star, which is good. I'm about to start my third season as a professional football manager in this version of the game. Obviously, I've had many years experience in the past. We have strengthened considerably, I would like to think. We've also sold some players that I no longer wanted or needed. Hotter, the centre-back, he was the first player to leave. I'm trying to remember any other big names that left. Nick Jolo left because I needed to reconfigure my international player quota in order to meet registration rules. That being said, I still have a centre-back that I can't register, so that's good. The weakest area is the centre-back positions, mainly because I've tried to strengthen those areas with domestic players, so players from Indonesia. Not saying that Indonesian defenders are bad, it's just I haven't been able to attract the really good ones with the budget that was given to me. I was given a transfer budget of £30,000. You can see I've spent it all, and I also had an increase in the wage budget of, I think it was £6,000 a week, and I've spent half of that. Some of that also went towards increasing the transfer budget to be able to sign some players. We got our first game of the season, which is against Persiba, which is known as... let me remind myself. Actually, it might be here. Derbies. Yes. The Kalimantan Timor Derby. No, not that one. Sorry, Kalimantan... Oh, it is the Kalimantan Timor Derby against Persiba. In fact, all three of them have got that name. That's easy to remember then. But anyway, I feel quite confident going into this new season. I feel like we've strengthened in all the right areas. First of all, we have two new good goalkeepers. You can see this guy here, Mbanjwa. He's currently out injured, unfortunately. We signed him on a free transfer, and then he got injured for 3 months, I think it was. It's down now to between 4 and 8 weeks, essentially. But he's going to be our main choice keeper. And then we also signed Pierre Cajol, who is Indonesian, I believe. Yes. And he will be our reserve keeper. He's also going to be our first choice keeper for the first few games of the season. Defence-wise, as I say, we're struggling a little bit in the defence department, but I will make do with what we have. I've signed lots of defenders. That's not the issue. It's just the positions that those defenders... That really makes no difference. The positions that we needed to strengthen, I did. So I'm quite pleased with that. It's just making sure that we've got the best team available. I've got no 4-star players anymore. And actually, when Hotter was sold, Sandy, who was the captain, he no longer is. He's also injured as well. He came up to me and asked me if he could leave as well because he thought I was selling the best players. I told him to stay. I told him that I would sign some good players to replace Hotter. I've sort of done that. Not 100% done that. I'm quite pleased with the fact we've got an all-round strong defence, like on average. There's no individual standout players, and I think that's one of the problems we had last season. Was Hotter was rated so highly that he was always playing no matter what, which is my fault. I take full responsibility for that because I really should have dropped him sooner, or just at all. I should have dropped him, and I didn't. So I take responsibility for that. Just making sure I'm choosing the right players in the right positions. Singi, I think he's going to play there. Or I might move him there. No, I'm going to play him there. If he's going to play anywhere, he's going to play there. Bayo's going to play as an attacking midfielder. And then our new captain, David, is going to start on the left. And our best player from last season is going to start on the right. And then up front, we have a new striker, Fernando Iturriaga, who is from Chile. He's got good stats. He's going to start this game up top. Bench is then going to be Mudianto, Arianto, Iomi. That's all the defence covered. And then Alice. What number's that? 4. And then Hienuza, sorry, Hienuza. It's going to be 5. And then Haryanto, I think, 6. And then Radeon, 7. They've all got new squad numbers as well, by the way. So, for example, David last season was 29, he's now 11. Mandone was 6 last season, which really annoyed me. You should never have a winger as number 6. He now wears number 7. The defence have all got new squad numbers. Cahill hasn't got a number yet, but he will get one. He was the last goalkeeper that I signed. Let's give him 30. And then let's play the game. So, as always, looking for a good solid performance from the team to get started, particularly as this is a derby match as well, so we really want to make a good first impression. They're playing 2 holding midfielders, which to me... Have I sprung some surprises? I don't think I've sprung surprises. Maybe with the defence. For me, getting off to a good start in the derby is crucial. You know, we have to do well here. Incidentally, I got my targets from the board, and I really thought after last season's second place finish, they'll be asking me to win the league this season, or at least do the same again. They're happy with top half. They literally have no ambition, the board. They just want me to finish in the top half, which is 9th or above. Maybe they've had a look at my defence. Maybe I'm the one who's being unrealistic. But I think finishing in the top half is more than doable, given the circumstances. The Indonesian Cup, they actually don't care how well we do in that. So whether we win it or whether we go out in the first round, they're not bothered. The international tournament, or the continental tournament, they haven't given me targets for yet. And I'm trying to get my head around it, because I was looking to see when the draw was made, and I couldn't find it. I don't know why that's up. I couldn't find when the draw was made. And then I actually looked at the competition itself, and it's still ongoing. So it looks like we will actually start next season's tournament during our close season, from what I can gather. Because they're currently playing their 3rd and 4th matches. Ooh, that was nearly a good way to score on your debut. They're currently playing their 3rd and 4th matches of the group stage. So they haven't even got into the knockout stage yet. And we've just started our new season. So I think our season next season will start a lot earlier. That does raise an interesting issue with me, though, because it's a question of, do I stay now till next season? I wasn't planning on leaving necessarily between now and next season, but if another opening comes up at a better club, am I going to leave and join them, or am I going to stay, given the fact we're going to be playing in a continental competition next season if I do stay? It's a very interesting dilemma, and one that I didn't really want to have to make my mind up on at this stage, but there you go. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But, I mean, that takes the pressure off. The fact that the board don't care about the cup is nice, because it means I can have a good go at it and not worry about getting knocked out. It'll just be my own disappointments rather than the board's. And as for the league, finishing top half, that's a real weight off my shoulders. Just knowing that if I finish 8th even, they'll be happy. And the budget they gave me reflected that. If I'd have chosen a more ambitious target, they'd have given me a higher budget, but then I always feel the pressure. So I always go for the lower of the options. Because then, you know, the board are very impressed when you exceed that, and then that reflects your budget for next season. So, yeah, I'll have to find out what's happening with that continental competition. The Asian Confederations Cup, I believe it's called. I should start calling it by its actual name. And that was a really boring first half. Nothing happened. It was a bit annoying. We'll see what happens in the second half. I'm going to bring Radeon on, who's only just recovered from his injury. I think the last 2 games of pre-season is when he recovered. We won all our pre-season friendlies. We weren't exactly playing against high-level opposition. I think we played 2 teams who were in the same league as, and the rest were all friendlies against lower teams. And I think I played the under-21s twice, just so I could fill the schedule up a bit more. We had a lot of trouble arranging friendlies. I had a pre-season tournament lined up, and all the teams that I invited, despite the fact that they were willing to accept individual friendlies, they weren't willing to accept playing in a pre-season tournament. So that kind of collapsed, that idea, which was a bit of a shame. But yeah, the fact we won all our pre-season friendlies as well was quite encouraging. I think at one point I had 100 players in on trial as well, to just see if I could pick up some decent bargains. We have got 2 more players who will be joining us in August, which is about the halfway point of the season, I believe. Again, I don't know how this league works. For some reason, contracts expire halfway through the season. That's a great finish by Bayo. Let's reflect on this goal a bit more, and then I'll talk more about those 2 players that will be joining. That's a great goal. And David suddenly decided to turn up and start playing this match as well, which is nice of him. He picks the ball up on the halfway line. Everyone's on a yellow card for some reason. I suppose it's a derby. That's a good ball to the edge of the box. Good first touch there, and then just places it into the bottom corner. Beautiful finish. What was I saying? Oh yes. The contract system in this country is a little odd in that contracts seem to expire in August. So there were two players who I've signed on free transfer when their contracts expire. And I was really excited for getting them in at the start of pre-season. And then pre-season came and went, and I realised they hadn't joined yet. And then when I went and looked why, they don't join us until August the 1st. I don't know if I can see the date at the moment, but I think we're in March at the moment. So what's that? 5 months we got to wait. And that also means players that have agreed to leave Mitra Kuka on free transfers also don't leave until August 1st. So that's interesting. I'm not going to complain about it necessarily. I think actually it's not a bad idea to be able to sign players halfway through the season like that. But that does explain last season why Castanheira left when he did. Because that's when his contract expired. Maybe that's where I got confused, because I thought it said that he had 6 months left on his deal. And because we were halfway through the season, I didn't think anything of it. I guess I assumed he had 6 months left because it said his contract was expiring, and because it was halfway through the season, I figured that meant at the end of the season. That does explain it actually quite a lot. And it turns out that's not what it meant. That's a really bad goal to concede. It's a really bad goal to concede. My defence, I've got more holes than a sieve. So that's a nothing free kick. Headed away by Radeon, who did well. Ball across there, and then he's just slotted it through the middle. No one bothered to close it down or try and intercept the pass. And he's just side-footed that into the corner. Alright, we'll make one more sub. Who am I going to take off? I'm going to take off David. I'm going to put on Hianusa for his first appearance for us. Although he's playing on the wrong wing, but there you go. I'm sure that will reflect his match rating too. Oh, you're joking. That's a real sucker punch. Maybe I should have swapped the defender. Take off Ramadan at left back. I mean, that was right at the keeper, pretty much, and he's let that in. That is really disappointing. Right, hang on, I've got 2 minutes of normal time left. We're going to try and get back into this. Okay. Ball out wide. Swings it over the top. Mandoan is running onto it. He gets there. Pulls it back. Oh, Bayo got his knee behind the ball there. Needs to get it over the ball. Oh, this is going to suck if we lose the derby. Come on. Give me one more highlight. There we go. Is this the moment? Oh no. It looks like it's their highlight, not ours. Oh, that's a good first touch. Okay. That's probably going to be full time. They really brought me back just to watch that. Hey. Not painful at all. Okay, Mandoan. Plays it out wide to Kaya. Stupid first time pass, should never have done that. Mandoan wins it back. Knocks it back to Sadiq. Good ball over the top. Rahadian's running onto it. I thought he might have gotten there first. Defender did well, to be fair. Ball cleared. Alice with it. Plays it out to Ramadan. He puts the ball forward. Hernusa. He's crossed it in. It's over everybody. Rahadian to Mandoan. He's hit the shot. Keeper tips it over. Corner. Okay. This is last chance saloon. Bayo with the ball in. Sadiq went for the header. And there's full time. Don't even get the chance to put the ball back in the middle. That's really disappointing. That drops us into the bottom 3. Okay, maybe finishing top half is a stretch, given that performance. I think I am looking at more centre-backs. Because there's one guy that I signed for quite a lot of money, who turned out to be absolutely rubbish. And the reason I was willing to spend so much money in the first place is because my scout said he was better than the players we already had by a considerable distance. And yet that didn't seem to be the case. That's quite disappointing. In fact, I'll show you who it was. It was this guy, I think. No, it wasn't him. He was the cheap guy. Who was the really expensive guy? I might have been Arianto. No, he's 8,500. Where is he? I'm sure he was a centre-back. It wasn't this guy, was it? I'm sure he's the one I'm trying to get rid of. Yeah, he signed on a free transfer. So he's Australian. And I can't register him because he's Australian. If he was Indonesian, I'd probably just register him and bite the bullet. I might have been Pratama, actually. Yes, 185,000. That's not how much I actually spent on him. I don't know if I can see the transfer. What the actual transfer was. Maybe here, actually, if I go transfer history. And it was this one. See, I don't know how to... Oh, there we go. I think I paid like 10,000 up front, and then I paid like another 60,000 in installments, and then there was loads of bonuses added on top. So I don't think we're going to spend 425,000 on this guy. I really hope not. Although that means we will have won something if we do end up spending that amount. So maybe it's not such a bad thing after all. But yeah, we made a couple of expensive mistakes because I trusted my scouts when perhaps I shouldn't have. But it would be nice for the next couple of games, once our first choice keeper's back, and if we can sign another half decent centre back, preferably at least 3 stars, maybe 3.5, put him in. I think there was a young left back that I was looking at as well. Or that might be who we've got joining, actually. So we've got this guy Ramadan who's joining. He's a striker, pretty good striker, finishing a 14. He's joining on a free transfer. And then we've got this Ramadan, who is a centre-back. Oh yes, I think I'm trying to bring him in on trial to see how good he is, and then I'm going to buy him. And then we've got Putra coming in, who is a left-back, who I thought I was getting a scout report on. Because the first time I scouted him, my scout said, oh yeah, he's way better than what you've already got. Now I'm not so sure. We're also signing him on a free transfer, despite the fact that he was bought not long ago for 4,200. In fact, not long before that, he was bought for 12,250. So he might turn out to be really good. We don't know. But I'm going to end this episode here. I'm actually missing the Newcastle-Liverpool game, so I'm going to run downstairs and watch that. Which means I'm definitely going to end the episode here. Normally I'd do 2 matches, but yeah, not today. Next time though, if I look at the schedule, I'm probably going to play a load of matches off camera again. So it might even be down here that we come back again and do the first round of the cup, and I basically repeat what I did last season. It's with it like every season I do on Football Manager. The start of the season I do it over and over and over and over again, so you've seen it a million times before. If you want to see it in more detail, you can go back and watch You Don't Win Anything with Kids, or you can watch Welling Garden City, or you can watch my first Hatfield save. There's loads of series on my channel for Football Manager that you can watch. They're all from old versions of the game, but it's pretty much the same thing essentially what I do. So feel free to go check those out. Besides that though, I'm going to end it here, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you enjoyed the series. Drop some comments down below with ideas for tactics, transfers, clubs you want to see me manage, countries you want to see me manage in, or leagues, whatever, all that kind of stuff. I'm taking on board all of those comments and planning the series around those ideas. So do feel free to drop some comments down below with that. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.